The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is Steve Gomez at Trade Ideas, one of the educators here helping out Andy today, and Jamie in the Trader Studio. How's it going, Andy?
Hey, Steve. How's it going? Hey, Jamie.
All right. Hey,
Andy,
guys.
Steve, what is going on? Happy Thursday.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mike. Hear and see good. Christopher, very good. So I'm just going to kick things off, get started. Scott, hey, there's no point in holding it back. Scott's the marketing director, is busy at work on getting our next test drive formulated and getting ready to get the information out to people who like to try our 1 week try all for $888 deal. You'll definitely be hearing more about that in the next couple of days. So I'm here in lieu of Scott. So I'll play the part of Scott here at the moment, let you all know the webinar is being recorded for those of you that are coming late or leaving early. The questions panel is open and available. The moderators can see your questions. Try and keep them to a minimum if you can until they're asking for them. But nonetheless, you can interact with that question box. Real quickly, I'm going to start a poll, as we always do, just to get a feel for who's in the audience. The first poll is binary in nature, and it's, are you a Trade Ideas subscriber or not? So I'll wait for a good majority of the audience we have today to give us a quorum on that. All right, we're almost there. All right, looks good. I'll go ahead and close that and share that. Kind of typical, usually 2/3 active users, 1/3-ish kicking the tires, looking to find a reason to subscribe. Well, hopefully today you'll find a reason to subscribe. We'll have a promo code at the end of this to save 15%, and Andy will explain some of the things that happen when you first subscribe. Lastly, I've got one more poll, and this is only for the people who answered that they are using Trade Ideas. And so for those people that are using Trade Ideas, the question now becomes, are you a premium subscriber using the AI and the odds maker and price alerts, or are you a regular standard user of TI Pro, which still, of course, has access to all of our alerts, all of the channels, all of the cloud sharing functionality, things like that. Get a few more of you to vote for that. I know not everybody can participate. All right, thank you. I'll go ahead and close that. And share. All right, I'm getting good at this poll thing. Again, kind of typical. We're seeing the same data points along the way. The premium users are outweighing the regular users. You know, again, 2/3 or even 3/4 in this particular case. So good to know. Great to see that people are continuing to adopt the premium version. Again, a lot of people start off with standard, get their feet wet, and then make the move, or they just jump right in, either way. But it's good to see that primarily at the webinars, when you guys show up and answer the question, a good majority, a strong majority of you all are using the premium service. So without further comment, let me hide that, which should take you back to Andy's screen, and I'll turn it over to Andy, and I'll see you guys at the end.
Thanks, Steve. Hello again, Jamie.
Hello again, Andy.
All right. And once again, hello to everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. We plan on showing you, I guess we got some pretty cool stuff today. So I think you're going to be happy that you attend this. But before we do, let's take care of the legal things that we have to take care of, and that is called a disclaimer. To basically tell you guys that we are not registered investment advisors, okay, and we are not brokers, so anything you see and hear today is only for educational purposes only. You're gonna, for those of you guys who are in here for the first time, you're gonna get to see a very powerful software, and so, but a very intuitive software as well. So, but we just wanted to get that disclaimer out of the way. So that is that, and let's move on to Somebody snuck this one in on me. Okay, I think this may be in here twice, but guys, we had an incredible summit last weekend in Carlsbad, California, and this the full pretty much the full video is available. This hasn't been sliced up yet, so you can see. Go to the start time of 18 minutes. You can get this at trade-ideas.com. /Holly Summit. All right, and you can pretty much see the whole live stream. It's a recording of the whole live stream. Some really great stuff in there, guys, but jump to the 18-minute mark for right now because we have not edited this version yet. All right, let's talk about the support and education and training real quickly here at Trade Ideas. Like I said, it is a powerful product, and we know that. Steve, Jamie, and myself sometimes take it for granted because we've been using the product for 14 years, and it just kind of grows. As it grows, we grow with it. But for somebody getting it for the first time, we do realize it can be somewhat daunting. So we do not leave you hanging, all right? We provide education throughout the week. We have 4 webinars a week, all in the same time slot. That is 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's Jamie and Steve on Monday, and we have Steve's Trade of the Week webinar is not listed on here, but it's Steve and I on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we give you Dan Merkin, our CEO, and our CTO, Brad Williams. That can always be some fun. Sometimes you get prematurely get some developmental versions of the software. And then, of course, this is my studio with, I guess I should change that with, flip those names around there. And one other one, guys, we have a Friday support session. Okay, so if this is not enough for you to learn the software, and it's probably not going to be enough, we have 3 hours on Friday where you guys can come in from 11 to 2 Eastern Time and ask. You know, the floor is open for you to ask questions, and it'll be myself, Jamie, and Steve in there, and now we have Sean who has joined the fray, and we will answer your questions for you, and not only we will answer them verbally, we will actually demonstrate them for you on the software. So great place to get more education, guys, and training. And we do not stop there. I almost forgot the trading room. Don't forget, we have a free live daily trading room, open basically 7 hours a day. Barry Anderson, our moderator and also trader, is in there. This is free for everybody, not just subscribers, guys. Anybody who wants to can go in there and watch Barry trade the market and use our software. And there's about 500 other traders in there as well, and some really good ones. So get in there if you haven't been. One last thing, very important. I think I had probably of the sessions I've done, I know I've had 4 people send me a thank you email as soon as it was over, saying that they learned so much in this one-on-one training. They can't believe the amount of help, because we cater this to you. Okay, I really don't go into them. I mean, I have a set demonstration for somebody who is very new, but most people, they come in, they have knowledge in some areas and need help in other areas. So we custom fit this for you for this 1 hour, and well, you can get some great things done in there. So be sure you do sign up for the training, and this is a $99 value. This is what we charge for people who want extra ones. It's free. It's free when you subscribe to Trade Ideas. That's whether you subscribe to the standard version or the premium version. So don't forget to sign up for that training. Quickly on the Brokerage Plus, we do have a basically a automated trading through IB, Interactive Brokers. This is for people that's a little more advanced in trading, who develop some strategies that they want to use our module to basically hook up to IB to automate their trades. You can do it with our Brokerage Plus product. If you want more information on that, go to trade-ideas.com/beta. It's still in beta phase, and I'm not even going to venture a guess to when it's going to come out. All right. Look at the agenda for today. Okay, we're going to talk about the market recap, and wow, do we have an exuberant market right now. geez, what can you say about it? And I'm going to hold that thought until we get into it. But we'll talk about that, and we'll jump into the Holly recap. Holly, some would say it was a disappointing day for Holly today. Well, she's been on a very incredible run lately, and we will talk about some reasons of why she may have struggled a little bit today. She didn't lose a lot of money. She just pretty much put flat on the day, but we'll talk more about that because I know some of you guys, probably want to know. It was a great day in the market. Why didn't Holly do better? Well, 12 consecutive winning days. We will explain, try to explain. We don't have to defend her. Obviously, she's killing it, but we'll talk about that. I'm going to go over my extreme volume high-low pro again, and I do this often because I want to basically, show you guys once again how you could have been patient today in the market, even though it felt like it may have been getting away from you. And 3 incredible trades, and there wasn't a whole lot coming through that extreme vol high-low pro. So we'll talk about that. And I'll save this for the last. Buy the freaking dip alert. It's the old bounce off 50. Some of you guys, old schoolers in here, have been around. I shared this alert with you a long time ago. Well, me and the boys optimized it yesterday, and I'll share that with you guys. So that's going to be a special treat. I think you're going to like that. Then, of course, we're going to open it up for questions if we have time. Well, we will have time for questions, but if we have time for some charts or something like that, we'll take a look at some charts if time permitting. All right, boy, somebody is really slipping this stuff in on me. I tell you what, I'm gonna
guilty. That was me.
No problem, no problem. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save that till we come back after. That's the Holly, right? So I will. No problem. I will talk about the market here a little bit, and then we will jump into that slide for sure. All right, let's pull it down and let's look at the spiders. And man, I'm not gonna have to spend a whole lot of time on this. This is like I said, it's an exuberant market. Closed on highs today. Great breakout from this level right here and hasn't really looked back. The trend has definitely been your friend. Wow, like I said, I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on that. Diamonds, pretty much the same way. Broke out from this level right here, hasn't looked back. And then finally, as I kind of hinted yesterday, in which sector was up the most today because it has been lagging, and how we talked about how you might get a rotation into the tech stocks. Well, the Qs finally broke out today and didn't look back today. And they were up over, well, let me squeeze this and see here, almost 1% in that. The rest of them were up about 0.5%, with the IWM bringing in the rear, only up about 0.25%. Actually, yeah, pretty much flat on that one. So you can see it's had the big run, stalling out a little bit. Qs was up the biggest today, so you maybe have a little rotation into the tech stocks, but it doesn't matter how you slice it, guys. This is just a very exuberant and I would say overextended, market. Just through experience, I will say be careful at these levels. If you're day trading, it's okay, but I would just advise be real careful, getting into investments or long-term holds, and just because I've been doing this for 20 years, and when you see things like the IWC, which is the basically the junk of all junks, the nano cap, micro cap, whatever you want to call it. Basically, let's see, it's about a 14% move in about 6 weeks. That's a huge move. I would call that downright euphoric. I hate to say it, but yeah, that's just a huge move in that short of a time frame. It's IWM, of course, looks very much like it. It is a small cap and very similar to the micro cap. But so just be careful at these levels. I'm not telling you to get short. I mean, geez, it'd be a fool to jump in front of this train. But at the same time, if you do enter new positions, just I typically would keep them very tight, because a big sell-off could come at any minute, but or any day. But anyway, Jamie, do you have anything to add to the market other than just how freaking crazy it is?
No, but I mean, just look at the energy expenditure. I mean, that's sure.
I think I lost your audio, Jamie. Can you guys hear Jamie, or is it just me? Okay. Jamie may be having some mic issues. Jamie, just come back when you want to. I will start the migration over to the Holly trades. Well, first of all, we'll pull back up that slide that he had, and we will take a look at it. And what he kind of snuck this into me, so I'm going to glance at it a little bit to see what he was trying to. Okay, I think he wanted to show basically the last trading days with Holly, and you can see here the performance by day. Okay, and I do believe I'm not certain if this is a combination, if this is just risk off or a combination of risk off and risk on. I'll have to have him to tell me when he comes back on his mic. But nonetheless, a very impressive trend line there compared to the S&P. And you can see here the last, these are the last days on Holly. So it looks like, just looking at risk on profit and profit right here. Yeah, I think he was trying to show you how basically successful Holly has been. And oh, Jamie has lost his internet, so looks like it's just going to be me. Hold on, let me tell him. All right. So, with that said, let me get back to Holly, and I will just and hopefully he will get back up. If not, guys, I will just have to fight through this on my own. So, what Jamie was basically trying to say is the Holly has had an incredible. Okay, guys, you don't need to have a Skype party. Incredible run the last 12 days, and today she kind of had a so-so day. I mean, she wasn't down big, 24 cents on risk on, 26 cents on risk off. So pretty much a flat day for Holly compared to the market. Market had an incredible day. But you may ask, why is that? What happened? Why did Holly not perform better, in a market that had an incredible day? And as I was thinking about this today, guys, I will tell you, I do remember I started having flashbacks. And I can remember, thinking back and having this conversation with you guys before after a huge run in the market. And there's kind of a reason for this, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not making excuses for Holly, but you have to remember she's equipped with about 40 to 45 strategies at any given time that she optimizes throughout the night. And what happens is after a huge run like this, a lot of her filter sets are set up for daily position in range, like maybe a position in a 5-day range needs to be in a certain level, position in a 10-day range, may have to be kind of like back here when she was performing real well. You were getting these 5 and 10-day breakouts. So a lot of her strategies has to do with chart setups. And when you have an overextended market lag like this, you're probably eliminating about half, if not more, of her strategies just because we don't have the chart setups anymore. We have basically overbought conditions, and so no longer are these strategies optimizing. They're getting kicked out just on their base strategy alone. So when that happens, when I woke up this morning and I saw only 6, I go, wow, that doesn't make sense. Lately she's been having anywhere from 10 to 15 strategies. Now she only has 6. And then the more I thought about it, that is what happened. Now, I think what you'll see happen is once the market does get a pullback or maybe start trading sideways, you'll see more strategies making the cut. Because I was even surprised that the winning percentage was not. Usually we have something in the higher 60s and the lower 70s, sometimes in the upper 70s. So I think that is kind of what you're seeing today with Holly.
Hello?
But hey, he's back.
Hey, well, my modem, my internet's dead. I happened to MacGyver my phone, so it appears to have worked.
Hmm. Oh, well, great. But you obviously can't see, you can't screen share, obviously, if you don't. Oh, wait. Are you saying you're up?
Yeah, I'm up.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
Right,
Great.
but through
Go
my
ahead.
cell phone, it's working. So there you
Okay.
have
All right. Well, are you gonna have
it.
are you actually gonna have a good enough signal to?
Didn't mean to interrupt. I don't know. You tell
No.
me. You want me to try to flip it back again?
Yeah, go ahead. I kind of went over the slide that you put in there. I kind of knew what you were getting at there. That Holly's had a great run.
Sure.
So I went over that, and I kind of explained the reason about the market being overextended, and it probably eliminated many of the strategies that were based on maybe position and range. Holly, a lot of these strategies are based on setups, and when you have an overextension, because I remember, I think it was, let me show them real quick on my spiders. I think it was back in February. We kind of had this same scenario. I remember an overextended market, and Holly kind of struggled that day, but. Nonetheless, we don't have to make excuses for Holly. She had an off day today, and that was that. And let's hope she does better tomorrow. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see a nice bounce back.
Yeah, Andy, I don't know how long I got to talk before I got cut off earlier, but I said something to the effect of, even though we're up here kind of melting up and it's highs, and CNBC's having their little parties, it by no means makes makes for a quote unquote easy market. I mean, such a thing really doesn't exist.
No.
Anybody that's been around long enough knows that's true. But once again, today was a very good example of human perception versus what was really going on in the market. Because yeah, a lot of things were going up, but man, a lot of things were going up and coming right back down again. So, interesting point I always like to make here is, what do I do every morning, 20 minutes in? I look at my compare count readings to try to figure out, okay, how might the day transpire, right? What might unfold today? Is it going to be crazy, so whatever. But sure enough, this morning, the bias on my compare counts on the large cap was barely 53%. And anytime we have that bias under 55%, it makes me very, very cautious. You better be nimble and quick, and manage your risk and your profit accordingly. Now, that doesn't mean that some things just didn't keep on going today. Like CORT was one of those. It just boom, 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 kept ratcheting up. Kind of was running exactly with the market. But for every one of those, there were probably 9 or 10 kind of got a little good run and folded right back down to their entry points, and some even went negative from there. So right off the bat this morning, I did have expectations. Yes, we're at all-time highs. Joy, fun. There's going to be some good stuff out there, but be careful. Keep your powder dry. Don't just go swinging at everything, and temper your expectations and take the money when it's there. And of course, what do we see Holly do today? Typically when we're under that 55% mark, not only does it make it more difficult for us humans, but also for a statistical model. Just like you said, we're based on ranges. What's to the left, predict. Well, when there's nothing but a void looking to the left, and of course it's the good void, not the downside void, then we have to wait for a few days of pullback or sideways consolidation so that the AI can get its statistics going again.
Yep. Absolutely, Jamie. That's a good point. Okay, so if you want to take the screen share and go over a couple of the Holly trades, that's great. If you don't feel confident enough,
let's give it the old college try, Andy.
Okay.
You got eyes on me?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, now
hopefully Mike can see it.
I know poor Mike is probably sitting there going, my screen has become black again. Am I right, Mike? And if that's the case, let me just do Mike a solid real quick here and help him be able to see as I display my technical wizardry here, pun intended. Okay, we'll do that. Now, hopefully, didn't throw everything too far out of whack here. But Holly, okay, here she is, and we can see whether we're looking at risk off or risk on today, pretty much the same old song and dance. You know, never could get any traction, brief moments of clarity, but then back again. Very similar to some of the longs that I was seeing today, whether we're looking at risk off, risk on, pretty much the same old song and dance. Now, Andy and I were talking about this earlier, and that was the fact that, of course, I stay up pretty late. And after Holly had reset and ran the stats, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty small little collection of strategies, especially going into a day like today where we're going to be flirting and, you know, gapping up and setting all-time highs again. Even though we did that on not bad volume, moderately above average here with a 1.3 on the SPY. All these guys were slightly above average. So 6 strategies and a grand total of 13 trades. Obviously, they were all long because we only had long strategies. Waking up is the only guy that didn't fire. Now, of course, just kind of a Christmas tree here with a little bit more red than green, which is certainly something we haven't seen in quite a while, as Andy alluded to and what was in the slide earlier. 12 consecutive winning days. Okay. Well, once again, we humans thought, man, I bet Holly tears it up today. And then, of course, reflect back. There are some days where you don't think she's going to tear it up, and the exact opposite happens. But once again, the compare count windows gave me a pretty good read. And I tell you what, I've got it pulled up over here for you guys. Let me just see if I can find it now. It's just hiding behind window here. Okay, so here's a quick glimpse at what those compare count windows looked like today. Just taken right out of my Twitter feed here, 20 minutes in. Had a little bit of a bigger bias on the small caps, but that's kind of been the norm as of late. But you can see the big cap movers here, 4 billion and above, barely a 51%, 53, you know, and we could pretty much call that between these two guys a 52% green bias. So that is a bias, but it's a little on the light side. And of course, you know, expectation-wise, I thought to myself, well, Holly is going to be the same thing, kind of all over the place today. And of course, we can see that's, you know, a lot more time on the red side than the green. But even having the equity curves tell us this at the end of the day, what happened between the cracks, right? Some things that just aren't necessarily jumping off the page at us. And one little nugget that was delivered today was this WDAY trade. So let's just take a look at it. Once again, entry signal here for people who are not familiar with the AI model, Holly. As soon as I double click here, we get the arrow. This is where Holly called the buy. And of course, once again, sometimes they go straight up, but due to the conditions of the day, this is no big surprise. A little bit of a drawdown. Now, not getting down to our stop area, which is good, but Holly sometimes gets a little stage fright, gets a little nervous. So what did she do? She closed this trade out, and by the way, we buy it here, we do a little sideways dance. Not the scariest thing on the planet. And we all know that sometimes they'll pass back and forth through this line several times throughout the day. This is the perfect example of that, because keep in mind, statistical probability is good for the day. Sometimes they immediately go, sometimes they meander around this line and then go. So Holly gets out very quickly. Well, I can't say quickly. She was in there for a good amount of time, but you know, with the ebb and flow that we had here, she decides to close it out right here, which is break even. Now, if we're in the trade with Holly, then we can make a decision here. Well, we're in this trade, market's going up, this thing's hugging the line. Tried to flirt with my stop here, couldn't get any lower than that. So we can just decide, I acknowledge you, Holly, you're getting out. That's fine. I'm staying in. And then of course, what do we get here? Not only does the trade continue to work, but if we are trained in the capacity of identifying these little range breaks, then once it clips up here, starts pecking at these highs again, stays above that level, whether you participated a little more here or whether you waited for a little bit more confirmation, you know, That's like a big fuzzy blanket right there. That little consolidation right there makes you feel nice and safe because you know where your stop is. And of course, whether it was the break or whether we waited a little bit longer, we could have added to that position. And that's really where the majority of the move happened here. So just a little between the lines reading here, I always like to point out the spread between risk off and risk on. And, you know, sometimes we'll get lucky and get all of it, not very often. Most of the time, we just want to try to get something in between, right? Something in between this and this. And there was a $1.05 in between there today. Now, everything else was just, you know, pretty much par for the course. A couple more winners, a couple more losers here. But if you know what to look for, a lot of the times you can extract alpha that's not necessarily reported on any of these metrics over here. All right, so what else to cover with Holly? Now, of course, I've been covering this max profit column right here, which even on a day like today is pretty impressive, right? Now, if we exclude the ones that just went a penny in the money, we look here and we've got, okay, on this assortment of 13 trades, even though Holly on the overall results didn't come out looking too rosy, but didn't come out getting crushed either. Look at the opportunity that was here. You know, yeah, Holly took 47 cents here, and even risk off would have only made 43 cents holding it to the close, but there was a potential of 79 cents in that trade. 44 here, 30 here. Just the bottom line is that on any given day, putting on a number of trades, whether it's 13, 20, 15, and being in the money and just being able to manage a profit moving forward, whether you get stopped out for the second half or not, that's still some pretty impressive numbers there, all right? And it doesn't just happen on a day where we're hitting all-time highs in the market. This has been a pretty consistent metric here, man, for weeks and weeks and weeks. So just keep that in mind. You know, the statistical model is doing things that we humans necessarily can't do on a regular basis. It's putting us in the path of opportunity. And as Andy was alluding to earlier, you know, we're never really defending Holly. We're helping people understand the model. It's more or less we're commentating on the action of the statistical model. And not only do we hope to share the knowledge with everybody out there, but we're learning ourselves as we go along and continuing to improve this thing. So yeah, Holly had the off day today, and I don't know if Andy pulled the slide over in the deck here during my brief absence.
I did, yeah. I kind of knew what you were
Everybody's got an eyeball full of that already. You know, the last day where she didn't make money either on risk on or risk off was the 18th. So, you know, every system has its losing days. Matter of fact, if a system never had a losing day, you know, it would just seem kind of strange. Now, Holly,
Madoff system.
Yeah, Holly's had a lot less losing days than I guess most human beings, but that's to be expected because she's operating with statistical probability 100% of the time. So that's pretty much it for Holly today.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of a blip on the radar. You know, as the information piles in right now, she's in the process of adding that to the database, and we'll begin the work tonight, and we'll see how big the strategy hopper is on the morrow.
All right. Well, thanks, Jamie. I appreciate it. I'm glad, man, I tell you what, you might want to just kick your regular service. Your cell service works pretty good.
Well, Andy, that's the joy of not being on a lockdown iPhone. You know, I can just be like, hey, I'm plugging my Android in, and there you have it.
There you go. All right, guys, back to my screen now, and I do have a couple of nuggets here. I do want to talk about the first thing is, you know, the extreme volume, and there's much more, you know, to our trade ideas product than Holly. Holly is incredible in a big portion of it, but wow, we have these alerts and top lists and multi-strategy windows that you can configure and that we share with you some of our favorite. And I will, for those that may not have it, I will definitely, you know, share this Extreme Volume High-Low Pro, which is one of my favorite. And I've talked about this multi-strategy window a lot. For those who are new, basically, it's a strategy that is looking for a stock. I'm just going to go to the extreme volume to the upside right now and see what we're looking for. The alert is a new high, okay? And the filters, real briefly, is stocks have to be up 1% on the open. Stock has to be over $5, has to trade at least 500,000 shares a day average minimum. So volume in the 5 minute, we're looking for 5 times normal volume. Volume in the 1 minute, we're looking for 10 times normal volume. And I'm looking for it to break out of a range. Okay, I do not want to see these stocks coming through there right in the middle of a sloppy 5-day range. I want them at least close to breaking out of their 10-day range. So going back to my patience theme, okay, guys, you know, I just want to show you what so many people get caught up in the morning in the very early minutes of the day, you know, chasing after, trust me, I did it enough myself in my youth, and I trying to preach, you know, to guys, be patient, use that first 20 or 30 minutes to just observe the market. So let's take a look, let's see what things came through here today. And I'll put this on a 5-minute chart so you can kind of get a better look at what you're dealing with when you see these. There we go. Let me make sure I have enough data. All right. So let's take a look at Constellation Brands. First thing in the morning, fire it up, you know, suckering people in, and then immediately, you know, downdraft. Very common. Let's take a look at Freeport-McMoRan. Nice move up. Maybe if you were real quick, you could have jumped in the first 10 minutes and made a quick scalp, but head fake above this resistance right here. There you can see the resistance line in Holly, and smash. A lot of pain after that. And trust me, there were traders in here, not only that were stuck in all this pain, but people that were saying, oh, it was strong the first 10 minutes, it's got to get strong again. And it just did this all day long. CDNA, there's another one. So you get the point. I'm not going to continue to go through these because I'm telling you the majority of, now Trox was a continued runner, but do you want to roll the dice and catching one? And you know, it's not going to happen, because what's going to happen, you're going to miss Crocs because you're going to be fighting these other ones. So let's roll to 30 minutes after the open, and let's see what happens. A lot of shopping. 5 still getting beat up. Okay, 903, 901. LC did not, I don't think that one worked too well either. Yeah, for some reason that kind of got a jump on a volume spurt right there. That was probably news or something, news related, and you can see it still had a hard time getting through that. But let's take a look at ATW. There's another one that really, you know, once again, look at this chart. That's what I love about our charts. Anytime you're using a high alert, it's going to show you the levels of resistance. And look at that, it ran right up to it and then fell back down. You want to find stocks that are breaking out of that resistance. So continuing kind of to be patient. SGMS was one, and let's just call that a scratch. It really never did anything. It just kind of went sideways all day. So no pain though. But let's take a look at Netflix at 1. This is basically 38 minutes after the market open, and Netflix goes off at 189.34. And let's take a look at this resistance level. So you could have been patient here and let it, you know, if you wanted it to get through this, I could understand. I mean, you have a very big resistance level right there, Holly. I mean, our technology is pointing it out for you, pretty much right there around the 189.70 level. So maybe you just be patient and you wait for it to poke through that level. Okay, I mean, you see, once there's the line right there, once it pokes through, it was never in jeopardy of losing money or going negative on you. It poked through and pulled back to it, got close to it, and then the buyers stepped back in, and you could have had a nice trade. And this is one, guys, that I talked about, you know, could be you had huge volume. You can see the volume there, volume bar there. This could be a potentially multi-day hold. Okay, Weight Watchers. Let's look at the difference between Netflix, what you saw in Netflix, and what you saw in Weight Watchers. Okay. 2 red flags here for me in Weight Watchers. First of all, it was trending up a little bit, but pretty much, you know, just nothing unusual, no big volume. Volume didn't come here. You can see it vaguely on the chart right there to right there. Okay, so Weight Watchers comes through at 48 at the tippy top. You know, my alert, it's running into resistance, and it's just ran basically $2 in a few minutes. Okay, that is not something I am going to chase, and that's not something anybody should chase. So there you have a difference between Netflix, something that was building up momentum, you know, attacking the resistance level and then poking through, versus this just a shot up in a basically a 2-minute time frame and running almost $2. Guys, do not chase that kind of stuff. But I want to show you Trox because we saw it early, and if you would have been patient, here it is again. Almost an hour after the market opened, it's still coming through doing, you know, what, over 13 times 1-minute volume, almost 8 times 5-minute volume. And look at there, you got alerted right there in Crocs. And let's see, there is your high from yesterday, which our technology so lovely draws out for you. And you got the alert at 24:22. You could have been patient, let it go through that high, and once again, just like Netflix, no pain, and you had a nice, you know, what, basically $1 move out of that one. And I think there's one kind, I think Mankind, let me scroll through here. I don't think this one actually did all that. Now, that was kind of a, not sure what was going in there, but it's kind of in no man's land. But I think Mankind, yeah, Mankind right at $5. We talk about the $5 level. Well, here we've got the first print at $5 in Mankind. Now, 5-minute chart, $5, it goes off, huge. The biggest psychological number there is out there is $5. So it's poking through this, doing huge volume, and look at the subsequent move you could have gotten out of that. Now, Mankind is a sketchy biotech. I'm always kind of fearful of any biotech, you know, that runs, but nonetheless, you had a nice, what, 30-minute move out of that. It ran all the way up to basically $6.50, so a $1.50 move. So I just kind of wanted to show you that, guys. Once again, I know I keep coming back to that because I really think more people, if they kind of focus, you know, on this alert, boy, they could really increase their P&L. So I will share that with you guys after I get through talking about the bounce off the 50. Sean, one of our newest guys here at Trade Ideas, he wants to put together he mentioned to me, I want to put together a buy the dip strategy to really kind of market to his Twitter followers out there. So I said, great, you know, I think I have a good one right now. So let's take a look at it. Obviously, buy the dip. You're looking for stocks that are coming down. They're dropping. They're dipping. All right. So bounce off the 50-day moving average. I shared this. It's probably been 3 or 4 months since I shared this one. Okay. Let's take a look at the configuration. This is in its simpler form. Very simple, not a lot of filters. Okay, I'm looking for stocks that are hitting a new low. Window specific filters. Okay, I had optimized this a few times before, so I'm not going to go over each, you know, optimization. That's something that you guys can do on your own or learn to do on your own. That's my goal here is not to teach you how to back test. Okay, I want to share with you a very good alert. That's my goal here. So, but this is in its pretty basic form right here. Only about what, 5 filters, and 2 of those are price and position in your range. So very basic filters. So this is a very basic strategy. Well, let's take a look, and hopefully I won't have any trouble with after hours back testing. And here's my time parameter. I'm back testing from 8:30, the start of the market, till 12:30. That's Central Time. So this is basically right at the open. Timed exit is going to be at the market open 3 days from now. Risk management, I'm using a stop loss of 1% plus a wiggle. And I do not have any type of profit target. I'm going to let these run the full course, which was 3 days. Advanced, I do have It's set for advanced. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to get into back testing right now, but running at the full 65 days, and let's take a look and hit the old run button. And looks like so far our servers are being cooperative. She's running through all the trades over the last 65 days. When I say trades, all the alerts. And wow, not bad. Okay, we have a 1.67 profit factor. You know, anything above 1.5 is starting to get pretty good. Trade 51%, that's not all that great. It's basically half and half, but look at the average winner versus the average loser. The average loser is 73 cents, and you got $1.14 on the average winner. That's pretty good. I mean, you'd love to get it up to 2 to 1, but that's tough. This is actually a pretty good average winner to average loser. Okay, this is in its basic form, not very many filters. Okay, so we took it. I'm going to pull this over, and I'll bring it back over here later. So we took it and we optimized it once. This is version number 2 with the help of Steve and Jamie and Sean. So we, let me take a look at the configuration here. All right, you can see a few more filters in here. So this is us just doing our work, basically optimizing it through several different filter sets. Remember, this is what Holly does on a grand scale, okay? She optimizes it through every one of our filter sets. So we added a few here, and we took a look at it, and let's take another back test. And what do we, wow, we got up to 2.37. So that really increased it. You know, the total trades went up to almost 55% winners. Now we only have 746 trades versus the over 2,000 that we had going on. Average winner, ooh, a lot better. We eclipsed that 2 to 1 average. That is really good, guys. All right, and really not a whole lot of filters in this, okay? Now, we kind of get Holly-esque on this last one, and I will save this so we can compare it, and I will pull over the version number 3, which we even go deeper down the rabbit hole, and we start back testing. I'm sorry, and we start optimizing. And now look at the number of filters we have. Now we're getting, you know, Holly's filters will be all the way down to the bottom of the page, but hey, we did a pretty good job. So once again, let's take a look at the back test on this one. I'll take a real quick glance at some of the filters. Don't worry, I am going to share this with you guys so you can have all these filter sets. So I don't want to go into each one of them. Just don't have time for that today. Okay, back testing version number 3. Everything is the same. Okay, the whole time. The timed exit, 3 days, risk management, nothing's changed, okay? Everything's the same. Wide open, 65 days, and we're gonna run this again on the all right, so now we're up to 291. Okay, this is getting really, really incredible. But look, our winning percentage went up. Okay, it jumped basically from about 50, what was it, 55, 56 or something like that, all the way up to 61%. So a very good winning percentage. The average winner and loser actually came down a little bit. So we increased our winning trades versus our losing trades, but we lost a little bit on the average winner and average loser. If we could have held that profit factor would really be up there. But nonetheless, still a really good one. It's still almost a 2 to 1, not too far. So this is a very good strategy, and let's compare the 3 and side by side here and see what we have. All right, so basically we've taken it from 167 all the way up to 291. Now the question is, you as a trader, if you're not auto trading, which one should you use? And a lot of people would argue, well, I want to use the one with the best profit factor. Well, here's the thing, and this is where, I think it's great if you're only, if you're only looking for those perfect trades. And really, if you're auto trading, this would be a really good one for auto trading. At this time, guys, we've been in an incredible bull run. Remember, you're buying the dip, you're buying lows on this market. Okay, if we get into a bear market, I guarantee you this is going to turn ugly. But the thing has been buy the dip, so this is a very good buy the dip strategy. But here's what you got to ask yourself as a trader. Would I rather have a copy of this or rather have a copy of this one? So when you're looking at 406 total trades over 65 days, well, we could just pull up the calculator and we will see you're talking about 408 trades divided by, what did I say? I'm drawing a blank here. 65. So basically, you're looking at 6 trades a day, okay, based on 400 trades. For some people, that might be just fine. I mean, that's good for me. I mean, if you're looking to really pinpoint it and you only want to get those great trades, you can use this one, and you're going to average getting about 6 trades a day. But if you want to look at more trades, in other words, I might be more inclined as an avid trader, especially if I'm a day trader. Even though this is kind of a swing trading stock, I may be wanting to see more. Maybe I would use something like this, get a few more trades, get about maybe 12 trades in or something like that. So you're getting more, you're getting more choices throughout the day, because honestly, this back testing is great, but going forward, right? The market is so dynamic. Okay, every day is going to be different. So if you're only getting the trades that are optimized perfectly, you may miss out on some pretty decent setups that are coming through, the ones that is spitting out more trades. So I'm just letting you know, because I see some people, optimizing these things all the way down to 50, 60 trades, and next thing they know, they're only getting 1 a day, and that just happens to be the one that didn't work. And so when you're using these things for trading, a lot of times I like to get more alerts, and then I will be the judge on which ones. I can set my price alerts. I can do things. I know how to read a chart, and I can. Let me see. I didn't even look at this today. Let me just do this real quick. This is version number 3. Didn't have any trades today. Right, that's the one that is really optimized. This is the basic version. You got trades today coming in and out of it. Okay, you can see in the alert, this is where it hit the 50-day moving average today. Changed from 50-day moving average. So you didn't get any trades in this one. So the first one that I optimized, I got trades in it. And the reason you're seeing this is because the market is so overextended. Now, when the market starts to pull back, and you will start getting more, obviously, in these as well. But by having one that is less optimized, boom, hit the 50-day bounce, you're going to get more, even though there's only 3 in here today, you can see where they triggered for you. So wrap it up here. If you're looking for more ideas, use one that is less optimized. And what I'm going to do with this time that I have left is I am going to share basically all 3 versions with you. And
Andy, there were some people also requesting the High-Low Pro volume.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll go ahead and do that one right now. And I like to do it over here because my cloud I keep saving them to the cloud. And okay, guys, I'm not going to label it. Okay, the first one is, you'll know when you pull them up what they are. The High-Low Pro. This one right here, I'm going to make sure. Let me actually save this, because I have several copies of this. I don't want to make sure I give you the wrong one by doing it over there. Okay, these next ones are going to be in order. I'm going to give you all 3 versions. You decide which ones to choose. And I know I have this one. Let's see, version 2, bounce off the 50, version 2, share. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 basically. And we'll still have plenty of time as I run down through the closing comments for you to grab every one of these. I'll give you plenty of time to get them. And make sure, even though you guys have the PDF, make sure you get the bounce off the 50, because I don't think it's not on that PDF, I don't believe. All right, so guys, thank you very much for your time today. Let me pull back up we do, hang on here for you guys who are still kicking the tires. We do have a discount code we're going to offer you guys. And before I do that, let me pull up the presentation and talk about the podcast. And Jamie, do you have any idea who we have on for tomorrow on the podcast?
I'm sorry, Andy. I had my mute button. Can you repeat that question one more time, please?
Yeah. Do you know who we have as a guest tomorrow for the podcast?
You bring up a very good question. Simply because Dan, our CEO, I know he's currently in Florida. Him and
that's right.
Our other guy, David Farriot, they had some business to attend. So you know what? I'll find out in the morning.
Okay.
And it'll be a surprise for everybody.
It'll be a surprise for everybody, regardless who it is, guys. Even if we don't have a guest, there's plenty of talent here at Trade Ideas. It will be a good podcast. We've got some great feedback. So just go to your favorite app and subscribe, and be sure to check out that podcast. So it'll be a surprise guest, I guess. All right, guys, before we head out today, we do want to offer you a promo code. This promo code is good for 15% off the first month or the entire year of Trade Ideas. This works for both the premium standard and the premium version and the standard version. All right, all you have to do is use that promo code HollyGuide. Be sure you go to trade-ideas.com/price. There will be a little box you can put that promo code in to get your 15% off. They're throwing this one on me again. Once again, guys, the summit, 2017 summit that we had last week is wrapped up, and we have the version on for you to actually watch the live stream. It's recorded now. Be sure you go to the 18-minute mark and go to trade-ideas.com/HollySummit and check that out. If you have any questions, all right, send it to info@trade-ideas.com. That is the best place you're going to get answered. Okay, we do have a phone number down there. We do like to reserve that for accounting issues only, billing problems or something like that. Call that phone number. You might have to leave a message and we'll get back to you. But for any other questions, info@trade-ideas.com. Check out QuantBot on Twitter. That would be Jamie Hodge, and Today Trader is going to be Steve Gomez. And be sure to join facebook.com. Check out our Facebook page. We actually throw some stuff on there, surprise you with every now and then. All right, guys, thanks for everything. Steve, thank you for getting us going today. And Jamie, thank you too, buddy, for being a real trooper, man. You could have easily just kicked back.
The technical difficulties. You can thank Time Warner. Everybody can thank Time Warner for the disruption. But yeah, great stuff, Andy. Great stuff. Thanks to everybody.
All right. The webinar,
all right, guys.
The recording will be up later. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't forget about the support session tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, and have a great weekend.
See you there.